have been a part of it this year. So, my father died in January, and when I came here, knowing that it was likely to happen in this year, I was worried that, I wouldn't be surrounded by people who knew and loved me. But I was so wrong. I was so wrong. I came back and we had a Shiva gathering over in the small sanctuary, and so many of you came and just were there with me and my family, and your love, it's amazing. It really is. Sometimes you think that it takes a long time to make a friend for life, but it doesn't. With those real friends, sometimes it happens just in an instant. And that's who you all are. Not just to me, to each other, to everyone who walks through those doors. Coming here knowing it was for a brief but important time, I made myself a promise to just be present at every moment as much as possible and be present with people and just be the best that we can all be in every moment, because that's all we ever really have is each moment, and creating those holy moments and stringing them together and connecting us all. That's what this is all about. That's it. Coming here for a short time, the temptation could be like, am I really gonna unpack even? And if any of you have been in my office know that I did in fact unpack. Well, Peg mostly, but I was thinking back to, the first time I went to sleepaway camp, it was for 3 weeks. But we moved in, we really lived there. Or the first time I set up a dorm room in college, it might only be for a semester, but that was where we lived, right? And so that's how this year is for me. And I just thank you all for it.
Hi. I don't have like a specific memory also that I want to share, but like a lot of people coming up here are saying, the staff and the community here are extremely special. I went through a really difficult time in high school, and Temple High was my refuge, both like this place and these people. And I don't know what getting through that time would have looked like without this community. So wanted to offer just a moment of gratitude for that support. But really what I want to say is this is where I learned how joyful Judaism is. I have just the most joyful memories walking into this building, not just of the music, but obviously, of course, the music, extremely joyful. I have memories of, I think it was the Purim spiels, but one year there's Monsters, Inc. happening right up on this bima, like seared into my brain forever. And I got to enjoy what I want to say is the height of Tikdi, and really get to experience Jewish joy with my peers in that way. And so when I think of this place, I think of joy. And I think of this room and the small sanctuary and all of these buildings being filled with our joy. And I carry that with me everywhere because I think that's what it's all about. I think to people who are not Jewish, they might hear stereotypes about Judaism and think that it's kind of a downer or that we're always sad and we're singing in a minor key. But, but we know that it's about the joy. And that's what life and about what Chai is all about. So that's what I wanted to share.
No, just you. Well, welcome to my office. This is my office. Did you know that? Because from the early days of COVID, we had 3 small children at home, 2 first graders and a kindergartner. And if I wanted to get any work done, it was not going to be at home. So I spent several hours there. My desk is just about where David Flax is sitting right now. And everything from mini fridge to desk with papers and chargers and lots of technology, no surprise. And from that space, we created together. We recorded singers, instrumentalists, Torah, Haftarah, and Megillah chanters, youth choir, families, our shofar team, speakers, gala honorees, and I just counted. We made 89 virtual choir videos. That is not the reason I brought it up. But some were very simple, with just speaker and words on the screen, and some had upwards of, there's a picture somewhere of me standing on a chair over the piano and positioning a tripod so I could capture Dan Couric's hands so that we could have the videos. What a time. Those were hard times. It was a time when we were separated. We were alone. And yet, besides the really good assignment of call the congregation, which we all did, we all had a list of about 50 names and called and checked in with everybody, we found ways to sing together, even though we were not really together. It was difficult and challenging. We spent the High Holy Days alone. And Debbie Blinn can tell you, she was back there with Josh Mason Barkin, and the clergy were up here with Josh Niehaus and Dan Couric in a studio. And you were at home with, I'm sure, a home that smelled amazing for your break fast that you were preparing, trying to focus on Yom Kippur. And we sang about next year. You remember that? Next year, the world will be brought, right? Right? You were in that video, right? And then we received news that Rabbi Mari would be leaving and that the building was going to be sold. With COVID, it was like a wildfire. It was really hard to see into the future, and it was scary, and we didn't know where to place our feet next. It was a long and difficult time that we were learning and maybe succeeding in creating a meaningful Sunday school experience, thanks in large part to Amanda Campbell and her parents. But I really want to focus on catharsis as we are approaching the end of that saga. That saga's not over yet. We did not realize we would be holding our breath for months. What followed were perhaps the most potent Shehechianu moments a community can know. The catharsis of receiving that first vaccine shot. The catharsis of that first Kabbalat Shabbat in fall of 2021 when we came back and sang together. 2 or 3 chairs at a time. We were up there with Rabbi Simon, and we all had tears, and we sang, and we filled this room with song once again. The catharsis of the time when we welcomed our children back to campus on Sundays. And they are still living with ripples of loss from that time. the catharsis of welcoming Rabbi Siegel and her family and celebrating our first high holidays together in 3 years. And Peg and Don Schoen were sitting in their usual spots where the ushers belonged. And of course, I got laryngitis on Rosh Hashanah. Do you remember that? Like, finally we could sing together, and I was like, Avinu Balkain. Thank goodness for prednisone. And what was behind this catharsis? In those difficult times, we were lost. We were missing critical parts of what makes Temple Chai great. We weren't able to sing and study together, plant seeds of Jewish identity with our children together, make tens of thousands of peanut butter and fluff sandwiches together. And Temple Chai, the catharsis of the phenomenal building that will soon be your spiritual home. A Beit Knesset, a house of gathering and community. We were blessed to have a wonderful tour with Nathan Goldberg and Rabbi Siegel yesterday, and it is phenomenal. Wow. There's one more great memory I'd love to share. The catharsis of last night's extraordinary Kabbalat Shabbat service. Right? The words that came to me as I was processing it, it was like as if we were seeing our favorite band. You know, on a Friday night, nothing against every other Friday night for the last 11 years. But on a typical Friday night, yeah, there's a B'nai Mitzvah family, there's an Ufruf, there are blessings, there are birthdays and anniversaries. And cancer concerts, yeah. But last night was about old friends. Last night was about hearing your favorite song. Last night was about seeing and learning from your dear teacher. Wow. And I wish everyone could have heard what we heard up here, because you didn't have microphones, but we heard you loud and clear. Even more than all the moments I just mentioned, we prayed and sang and felt the catharsis of being reunited. And it felt like home. And it felt like one last hurrah for this remarkable prayer space. And so, Temple Chai, as you prepare to move, change is hard, but the wildfire is out, and the ground is fertile. And now, it's upon you to go and be that change in the world for the Phoenix, Arizona Jewish community, to right the wrongs and to sing the songs and to be a light and to receive the light as well. When Cantor Ellen Dreskin and Dan Nichols wrote this setting of Aleinu L'Shabeach in English, our teacher, Cantor Ellen Dreskin, said, you know, when people hear the word Aleinu, they think, oh, it's almost time for oneg. Yeah. And let's take the core concept of this prayer and let's lift it up. And these 3 verses of text move me to tears, because this is our mission. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? What's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? It's up to us to bow down deeply, because there's a broken world to raise. And I'm grateful to have been a teacher, but I'm also grateful to have learned from so many of you.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were freed to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways?
Together.
Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise.
We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Trade.
It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call.
It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. Everyone,
It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise.
Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Amen.
What is Temple Chai all about? Temple Chai is a warm hug that says, yes, you can do that. Temple Chai is the place that I found my voice as a preschooler who thought, maybe we should be doing something for the community, for the world. And so I said, let's take a field trip. Let's clean up our world a little bit. And the Levi Gettleman Clean Up the Park Day was born. I came back every year through high school to take the pre-K class to a park to clean up, to talk about Tikkun Olam, to talk about our world. And that was just one of the many moments that Temple Chai said to me, you can do this. You can be a leader. Temple Chai is the place that when I need to feel held, to feel loved, that I come. When I was in Israel, after October 7th, figuring out what to do, Cantor Woolman was one of the first people I reached out to. When I came back here after being in Israel, it felt like I was back. I felt held. When I sat down in the interview room to interview a new dean for the Los Angeles campus, and Rabbi Mari came in, I said, I'm home. It felt right. And that is what Temple Chai is all about.
He's the student body president next year. I know. And I tell everybody I did his bar mitzvah. Everybody. I want to just pause briefly to lift up not only Sheena's memory, but also to say the names of Marilyn Quinn and Sally Freed, two other staff members who served us and have since died, and we think about them and remember them. I'm going to tell two very brief stories about my beginning here, and they inform my entire time. When I came to interview, I actually didn't meet Rabbi Burke for the first 24 hours. I met everybody else, and then he was, I think, coming in from out of town or something, and he met me here, and we were going to go for a hike. So he drove me down to the preserve, the mountain preserve at 40th and Shea. Do you guys remember his red station wagon? Right, old station wagon. I was like, wow, this is different than many senior rabbis show up at the congregation, but I like it. It's very real. And we started talking, and in the drive from here to 40th and Shea, we both cried. And I thought, oh, this is a place that I can call my home. This is a place I can be myself. And later, then I took the job. Later, that next year, I think it was that year, it was the Purim Carnival, and I had just broken my ankle skiing. And I get to the Purim Carnival, and I'm hobbling along, and Bill and Peter, Rabbi Levy, Rabbi Burke, show up in casts. And I'm like, what? And they were making fun of me that I had gotten out of the dunk tank, and they actually got casts put on because now, they couldn't do the dunk tank either. So that, it's... And what Temple Chai has been to me from that interview to this day is a place that I can bring my most serious self, my most real, most authentic, most serious self, and also a place where I never have to take myself too seriously. And that has been spectacular.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life.
There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A lover's trusting smile, a tiny baby's hand, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. And this is the faith that they invest in you. It's that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun. With a request of you, to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, oh, we'd give anything for one more hour of light.
And I
Just this is the best part of your life.
So I want to share 3 very short little stories, little tidbits. Even though it was partially my idea and partially Cantor Sharona's idea to conclude in this way where we share stories, I then found myself having a hard time pinpointing just one. How could I possibly narrow down, even in these just 4 years so far that we've had together? So 3 very brief tidbits. The first is I'm thinking of a Bat Chai retreat. And I know what happens on Bat Chai retreat stays on Bat Chai retreat. But I have permission to share this story. So when we do the Torah service on Saturday mornings, when it's time to read Torah, we unroll the Torah with 2 lines of chairs and people seated, and we unroll on our laps, right? And there's meaning, it feels, in where it down this big line, kind of diagonally in this big room, and meaning in where we find ourselves in Torah. And at this particular Bat Chai retreat, it's a retreat that we didn't know if Jen would be able to be on with us. Jen said I could share. And she was not only present, but she's going to read Torah. Again, after having experienced the most difficult situation where on the brink of death, we didn't know if you'd get to be with us. And we were there at the Bat Chai retreat where she was not only present, but reading Torah, chanting Torah again with us. And we got to say Birkat HaGomel together, thanking God for bringing Jen, bringing us through the ultimate struggle. And I think we all cried together in that moment. That's what this community is, walking even the toughest paths and moments together and coming out the other side, still embracing each other and thanking God for being able to be together. I'm never going to forget that moment and that time together. So that's number 1. I could cry again about it. Thank God. Number 2, sharp pivot. Number 2, one of the things we wondered when coming here, we'd been, because of my rabbinic path, my kids have not had very long in any one place, Chicago, and then we're in Colorado for 5 years. God willing, we'll be here forever and ever. I love, love, love this. Right? I don't want the dream to end ever, just like Rabbi Kapel said. But my kids have been so embraced, and Sammy, who's in 8th grade, has found this wonderful Jew crew of her friends in Sunday school, and they have, they call it the Micha Mocha group chat. And Noah is sitting there. Sorry, Noah. He's in the group chat. And I found out that there was a discussion recently when the war with Iran broke out about the war. Is it justified? Does it count as a war? What are the stakes in the war for Israel, for the United States? This really robust debate. And I just found myself so grateful that this space had been created here at Temple High for our young people, including my kids, to dig in together, to understand that they have opinions, they have a voice, they can be informed, they can dig in together as Jews and with Jewish identity. Okay. Okay, she's okay. Just a foot's asleep, she said. Okay. So grateful for this space that's been created for my kids and for our kids here. And the last little moment I'll share is Sammy's bat mitzvah.
when so many of you were present, and Rabbi Capel and Cantor did just the most beautiful job, not only with the service, but of allowing me to be mom and to sit in the kahal. And it was weird but amazing to sit in the kahal and to be present. And I just want to express gratitude for what you've created for my family and for me, that I get to not only be Rabbi Siegel, but I get to really be Emily, too, in this community. So I'm just grateful for this space. It's a space where we can be ourselves and where we can grow young people and their identities and where we can walk life's path together in the deepest, darkest pits and in the highest highs.
Beautiful.
I want to start with a memory of. I want to start with a memory that goes pretty far back. The second Shabbat that I was the rabbi for in 1983. It would have been in late July 1983. The first day in I moved here at the beginning of July 17th. Of 1983, it was 117 degrees.
Yeah, right.
And my son Joe said his first word, he was 1.5, he said, hot. No mommy, no daddy, hot. And then I thought to myself, dear God, what have I done? That's worse than the signs they had on Smitty's grocery store, which said, check your guns. Yeah. So here's the memory from the second Shabbat. You got to remember, I'm very insecure as a first-year rabbi, and for this story, the second Shabbat, and I give my Devar Torah, my sermon. It was a Friday night, and when I'm finished, somebody stands up and holds a sign that says 8.1. Then I got a 5.2. And it went on and on. So I got back at them. A couple of Shabbats after that, we're learning from the Parsha, we're learning about, I'm teaching about idolatry and paganism. And at one point, I'm trying to get through to everybody about this. And do you happen to know the name of the male Canaanite god, what that name is? Baal, right? Baal, okay. So I'm teaching about it and about paganism, and I pick up a soccer ball, Baal. I said, it's about Baal. You're having soccer coaches out there telling you what's important and not important. And they are doing Baal. And they should have to ask the rabbis what the schedule could be so we can have Jewish retreats at Camp Pearlstein. So I got back at them. I wanted to share, I want to say a word about camping. The retreats were really important, and there's I just have 1,000 memories of the retreats. I just wanted to put a word in for that. I wanted to say a word about what happened after 9/11, because it was what happened what happened in this room, and a few days after 9/11. So on Rosh Hashanah of 9/11, I believe it was Rosh Hashanah 9/11, the place was packed. And I introduced a couple of Temple Chai firemen and police who walked in. And nobody said a word. Everybody stood. It was a powerhouse, unbelievable moment. And Yom Kippur afternoon, on this bima, we had the healing tapestry used for what? On this stage, after 9/11, we had an imam, and a Christian minister, and a few of us rabbis, cantors. Well, it was singular, rabbi and cantor. And then the healing quilt put over the shoulder of all of us together, because we knew that America had to be healed after this tremendous trauma. Unbelievable moment. There's one more memory I really wanted to share. I'm sorry, having a senior moment. It happens. Can't think of it. Let me just close with a dream I had. This is not exactly Temple Chai. This is just Bill. But I came to Israel for the first time the day after Entebbe. I always prefer a musical accompaniment. Okay, I came here as a student, and the day after Entebbe, I was here 3 days in Israel for the first time, 3 days. And on the third night I was here, I had the following dream. There was a whole bunch of people lined up in front of a bonfire. And one by one, people came up to the bonfire and threw their weapons into the bonfire. This huge, long line of people. And when I woke up, I knew exactly what was happening. It was just totally clear. It was totally clear that someday, people have no idea how amazing Israel is going to be when we don't have to make guns and shoot guns. What we're going to give, the culture, the spiritual treasures, the Torah, the everything, and the community will just really be something. And Temple Chai is playing its role in getting us closer to those days.
Shakoa. Well, friends, May 2nd, last year, was the time that we said farewell. I mean, like me. Almost a year. Wow. And we closed with this song, this prayer. And as we sing this Tfilat HaDerech, this traveler's prayer, this song that invites us to be blessed as we go on our way, wow, what's going to be like on May 2nd, 2027? Where will Temple Chai be? I mean, I know it's 60th and Bell. But where will you be? That's what I said. And where will we be in our lives? And where will we be in good times and difficult times? So here's to having the strength to be that person, to pray as if everything depended on God, and act as if everything depended on you. Let's sing. Amen. 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 Veimu. Amen. Let's sing it again. Amen. Amen. Temple Chai, this will be better if we're all together. Let's stand up and let's get close. Don't worry. Keep your particles away from each other. Amen. blessing. Wrap us in perfect peace. Guide our steps steadily forward as we go on our way. Bless us with compassion as we walk new paths ahead. Bless us with strength for the journey, and we say amen. Let's sing it.
Amen, 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 Meimru, amen. May we be protected. May we feel held and free. May we have patience and wisdom as we go on our way. Bless us with the knowing that we are never alone. Bless us with love for the journey, and we say amen. Amen, 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 Meimru, amen, 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 Meimru, amen.
Yasher Koach. My friends, as we conclude this time, I've been thinking of a teaching by Shneur Zalman of Liadi. It's about Shemini Atzeret, but I promise it connects. He teaches that Shemini Atzeret at the end of Sukkot is the tea essence of the high holidays. It's when we boil it all down so that when we need to draw on that spirit and that strength, we can tap into that feeling of the high holy days. And I feel like this has been the tea essence of our 50th anniversary of these 50 years, that God willing, we will be able to continue to draw on. All we need to do is add water, and we'll be able to access the Ruach and the spirit of this time. Thank you so much to all of our visiting clergy and student clergy. We stand on all of your shoulders and are grateful to you, not only for taking this time, but everything you have done to make our community what it is. Thank you. And thanks to each of you for being present. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov on our 50th anniversary.